If you like the video, please consider supporting James Corp on Patreon. Right, hello everyone, and welcome to week 3 of The Highway of Blood. So we're going to go around the table, get people to introduce themselves and their characters, and then we'll hand over to Scott, and then he'll kill us all. So, you know, there's that to look forward to. But other than that, don't forget to, if you're enjoying this, to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in joining the convention of Roleplay, hit that link up. That will be in the description below. And if you want to support the channel, you can support me on Patreon or subscribe to me on Twitch, or just click the link below and purchase the book from the link below, and you can, you know, buy it through drive-through, and I'll get a little bit of credit, I think. I don't know how it works. I've never got credit from it, so we'll see. So I'm playing Timothy Green. He killed someone he killed 3 people in one shot a couple of episodes ago. He hasn't the adrenaline hasn't come down enough yet for him to like realise what he's done, because he is a nurse and he's sworn to like look after people rather than murder them. He is currently captured because of bullshit from last week. Or last time. Bud.
I'm playing Reginald Reg Davies, who's a grifter and a man who has bouts of bravery and bouts of cowardice. And I managed to run away and get to the car in the last session, which I'm very proud of. I can't hear you with the bag over your head.
Keith?
Hey guys, I am playing Wallace Cumley. I'm the rookie police officer, turned captive with a bag over his head, unconscious, bleeding out. So my life expectancy is probably pretty short this episode, but we shall see.
Sue?
Hey, I'm playing Mary Coupland, photographer, and more recently turned driver when a certain person couldn't do it anymore. And I'm pretty sure I remember I was also kidnapped by some horrible children. Well, maybe they were children, perhaps we'll find out.
Pookie?
I am playing Jack Borrow, who is a cousin to Keith's character and friends to Reg. And as I remember last week, I had a sudden bout of insanity or sanity, depending upon your point of view, ran away in the dark after seeing some strange, feral, childlike things before running back to where the car is and Reg in the driver's seat.
And last but not least, the keeper, the tormentor of today's show, Scott.
Hello, my name is Scott, and yes, I am going to be playing the keeper and head tormentor, torturer, / etc. during this session of Highway of Blood. And yeah, so in just a minute, we'll do a little recap unless in case anyone else here has any questions regarding the fact that the rules were handled appropriately and regarding, you know, the knockout clause for cinematic purposes. Garbage. So if anyone, including James, have any issues, feel free to email Mike Mason, Paul Pricker, because
right,
you know,
I'll do that.
Blame them.
I've got them on Facebook. I'll just DM them on Facebook.
Fantastic. So, but you know, don't shoot the messenger or the keeper, as they say. But yes. So what? So before I proceed into a little recap here, any questions from anybody before we move ahead?
Yes.
Yes.
What year is it?
1975. That is easy. You know, that one I know for sure because it's a real time and a real period, and I've been reading this book for almost a month now, so that I know for a fact. In fact, it's July 1975. So when we last left our, well, it's hard to call you investigators. You're more just a group of teenagers who have to be in the, early 20 years, I should say, youngsters in the wrong place at the wrong time. You had narrowly escaped, through a variety of insane scenarios, capture from these group of dust billies in the variety of vehicles. Wallace has lost his van. It's smashed and left by the highway, and you proceeded to steal a Dodge Duster and continue on your way. The evening came, and at that time, you had found that you had run low on gas and decided to take it out on foot, where you were soon confronted by a group of childlike creatures, but monstrosities. Hairy little minions with sharp teeth had confronted you. Some of you were taken out, and as far as those who escaped know, are either dead or taken captive. But both Reg and Jack were able to escape with the little bit of gas that was left in the Duster and took off into the night. Whereas the other three, Timothy, Wallace, and Mary, were bound, hooded, and injected with some sort of sedative. Let's just make sure I am. Yes, I am. So yes, it's what we're going to start is we were going over the last bit of a soundbite that we had prepared for those who were captured as they were put into the trunk or the back of a vehicle, and these were the last things they heard as the drugs began to take hold, and likewise they slipped into some sort of hallucinatory vision. So we're going to go ahead and start by replaying that and then moving on into the next scene, which will find us in the morning after. So I will pull that up. And here we are. So where we find Wallace, Mary, and Jack. They were knocked out by these creatures. They had, rudimentary tools, things that looked like tomahawks, so to speak. They did their best to fight valiantly, but were taken down one by one. But maintaining a little bit of coherence, each one of them have awoken slightly to see, more of these dust billies, these desert people, loading them up. They're bound, gagged, and hooded, but they can still hear. And each one of you has felt a needle stuck into your arms, and you can feel the cold burn of the drugs into your body as you hear the radio from their vehicle. The volume is turned up, and you can still hear it as you're loaded into the trunk. And if you can't hear, turn your master volume up.
And that was Black Creek here on 93.7 Beat Airway. All your old Black Cat and Jack was had. I've listened to those lyrics many, many times. And there's such a trip. The song has such a groove to it, but the words, man, they're dark. Lie in the dark, where the shadows run from themselves. Crazy stuff. Such lyrical genius.
All right, so that was the last bit of reality that Wallace, Mary, and Jack heard before they drifted into the deep, dark abyss of sleep. So we're going to move over to the scene with Reg and Jack. And I'm going to move over to the map where we had last left off here. So on the map of the Devil's Backbone, and likewise, just for the players, there is a shared handout in Roll20. So if you wanted to look at it in a smaller capacity or just refer to it, you can through there also. So you had said that you were trying to make your way down Miners Road when the car ran out of gas, and the situation occurred with these creatures. Both Reg and Jack, or I should say Reg, due to a bit of luck, there was a bit of gas that was still left in the reservoir that allowed the engine to ignite, and they peeled off down the road. So before we move to morning, where would you guys have tried to get to on the map? I mean, you only have so much gas, so I kind of would like to know what you would be doing as you're heading down this darkened highway.
Panicking.
That part is obvious, yes. And it is Reg at the wheel. Obviously, the general panic, it will still be in the air, the confusion, but as far as any sort of insanity situation, that has subsided. So you are back down to earth, but still you both are having to grapple with not just, being chased by these, murderous men, but you've now come in contact with things that you are just having probably trouble grasping. It's unnatural things that you've only heard of in, children's fairy tales and stories and seen in the movies. So we will go into the Dodge Duster. It's heading down the highway. In the, obviously there's headlights, but it's still the dark of night. So take it away, Reg and Jack. Oh, did we lose Bud? Oh,
he's muted.
Oh, you're muted. Oh, okay.
I keep on doing that. Can we see any other headlights from any of the cars? Seeing as we're in darkness.
You don't see any lights currently. As you're heading down the road, as you're heading down Miners Road, you can see the illumination in the far distance of the city of Abattoir. As it's, its location is slightly lit, but you're not noticing any other headlights on the road, or if you're in this part of the desert area, it's a little bit more flat, not quite as hilly and mountainous. There's nothing out in the desert, in the desert lands or on the highway. So at this moment in time, it looks clear.
Okay, I'm gonna head off road slowly. And try and find like a ridge or something, an outcrop on a rock that we can park the car under.
Okay.
What are you doing? Why are we stopping?
We haven't got much gas, mate.
What are we going to do now? They're going to find us again, right? Whatever those things are.
Well, they're going to have to run a bit then, aren't they?
Jesus. What the hell have we got ourselves into?
Okay.
I don't know.
So you'll get to just about, let's see here. Miners Road runs about 3 miles or so. So you're going to get to just about here on the map. And I'm sorry, just a moment. James, you said that the map's not showing on Twitch?
No, I just weren't showing the map at the time.
No, it's good.
Okay. No worries. Okay. Just want to make sure that it was refreshing properly or whatever the case may be. So you are going to see a side road as you're heading down Miners Road that's going to allow you to kind of pull in between, the road that you're on and up to the next road, just a bit north over. If you see, when you see this dirt road, there are going to be, kind of ridges and, rocky terrain that you will be able to at least pull off and find a good spot if you're looking to hide the car.
Right, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
I was the only one with a torch, if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll turn it off now to conserve light and conserve battery power. I'm going to pull the car off road, try and find a ridge to hide the car under.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to get out and say to Jack, come on, we need to cover our tracks here. Find any scrubby brush, go back to where we come off the road and scrub our tyres out and back us up so that there's no tyres or footprints leading back to, so it doesn't look like a car's gone off road.
We're going to be able to do this in the dark.
What?
Hey, what you
I've
could
got
do,
a
right?
torch.
You could get a load of bushes and hide the car behind the bushes.
That'd just
Yeah,
be
but
ridiculous.
we're not trying to get the car to move silently.
That's what we're going to do. I've got a torch, so we can do it.
Cool. Okay.
Then when we get back to the car, I'm going to pop the boot to see if there's anything in there we can use as weapons.
Okay.
Well, we better search the car anyway, just to see what's in the back.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe I'll have to check through the log, but I'm fairly certain that Mary had already checked to see if there was something in that duster, or was it another car you had checked?
Don't remember.
If you recall. If not, then we'll move forward with that. So because I think someone was looking to see if there was some if there was gas or some sort of weapon in one of the cars, but no worries, we'll move on from there. So with that, just go ahead and just give me a luck roll just to see if there's something in this car that would be helpful for you.
Both of us or just me?
No. Well, let's. I mean, if you want to go ahead and do it with a, if Pookie wants to help you, I'll let you do it with a.
What's your luck, Pookie?
26.
Oh, mine's 57, so you can help.
Yeah.
Like even if there's like a tire jack or something like that, you know.
Right.
Or...
Now, mind you, these are beat up old cars. They look like they've been pulled from the scrapyard, glued together, and they're not in the highest performance. So it's who knows what's inside these things. But by all means, give me a roll. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And excellent. So you pop open the trunk, and there's a variety of just trash and scrap in there. There's not even a spare tire, but you do see there is a crowbar and likewise a lift in there. The large piece of metal to use to lift a jack the car off the ground if you need to. Likewise, you are going to find in there a large flashlight, more of like the floodlight flashlight that's used to illuminate a larger area.
There's batteries in there.
If you give it a quick click, you see that instantly the car is hit with a flood of luminescent light, and if you click it again, boom, it's gone. So there is power to it, but this light is it's farther reaching than your little torch, your little flashlight that you have.
Okay.
Hey, I wonder if you can flash that and those little feral creatures' faces. They're probably not used to the light.
They come near, mate. They're getting this, and I'll show them on the crowbar. Right, I'll say, look around for any hand-sized rocks to throw at them if they get near.
Okay. Well, I thought it was brush first to get rid of these tracks.
But we need something to throw at them if they get near us.
Which do you want me to do first, Reg?
Get the rocks. I'll get the bush, the scrubby brush, and then we'll both do that together.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and transition here. To the other characters here. Okay. Now, mind you are going to be split, so I apologize for moving back and forth for anyone watching and also the players, but I'm going to try my best to balance it between the two. So moving forward. Okay. So after these drugs took hold, you don't recall anything, but you are slowly coming to as you awaken.
With my medical knowledge, would I probably know what they hit us with?
Yes. So let me just go. Oh, let me turn the volume down on this here too. There we go. This does not need to be playing that loud. Okay, great. First off, does everyone have control of their character? Just to make sure.
I do, but it's not rendering right for me on Roll20. I'm gonna pop out, pop back in.
Okay. All right.
See if I can just refresh. You can keep going. I'll just.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. I just need
Mine's
to pull
working
up.
fine.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's
Just
weird.
Pull up the sheet. Yeah, Roll20's giving me a bit of a lag. Give me a second here to pull up the sheet. So let me give you a brief description of the room, James, before you do your assessment with your medical knowledge. But yeah, just go ahead and give me a roll, and we'll adjudicate that after this. So you're coming to, and you do, all three of you remember before passing out that you were bound, that you were gagged and hooded. But as you come to, those things that were confining you are gone. You're no longer tied, bound, or gagged. And you glance around this room. The first thing that hits you is the smell. And this is probably what has woken you up as you're starting to come to. It's a strong metallic stench in the air. That's
Blood.
mingling. What's that?
The smell of blood.
Right. But also there's the smell of rotting meat. The the smell of urine, feces, and just a general wet mustiness that's gathering all of these sensations together. Give me a where did it go? Each one of you just kind of give me a con check. See if you can keep it all in.
Can I argue I'm a nurse and I'd probably have encountered worse smells than this?
Yeah, I'll let that go for now. But I mean, just know that you are also under the, you're recovering from some drugs and the situation. So, depending on what assails you, your nurse sensibility may not save you every time. But this is just you waking up and the smell hitting you. So yeah, we'll kind of let you keep it in, but just the other one. So yeah, so Wallace, whatever is inside, that's left inside your stomach just comes wrenching out as you throw up. Both of you, hold back a gag, and it's a dimly lit room, but you can see it's a rectangular cinder block structure. Across from you can see that there's what looks to be a steel plated door that is closed next to you, and as you're waking up and you're lifting yourself up, you hear the sound of just like the sticky, slimy layer that you've been laying on just kind of slowly rip away from your clothing, as you can see just decaying matter lining the floors of this room. Against the western wall is a darkened pile of what appears to be a mass of old clothing, blankets, shoes, and so on. And then as your eyes are adjusting to the dim darkness, you can kind of just you're seeing as your vision comes back to you. There's also a heavy iron grate set into the floor with a bucket right next to it, and you can kind of hear the slow trickle and drip just of the various liquids and forms as they start to trickle into this drain and heading down to wherever it's going. So there you are. So how would you like to proceed?
Are we chained up? Are we like hanging from meat hooks?
That's oddly specific, but no. What does Timothy do on his spare
that
time?
can be arranged if you want, but
Does Timothy spend a lot of time in German?
Well, no,
bars or something?
I just assumed, right, that
Meat
we
Hook
were.
Mart.
I just assumed that we were on a we're basically here for because we're now their dinner.
Right. Well, I mean, it's a safe assumption. I mean, considering what you've been going through for the past 24 hours. But no, it's not. Your surroundings are horribly disconcerting and horrifying, but you yourselves at the moment seem to be no worse for wear other than a slight headache from the blow to the head as you were knocked out. So give me a, let's see here.
I'd like to make an accounting roll. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's.
If only
yes.
I was there to help you.
It's a dump stat, right? Or dump skill.
Oh,
Apparently.
not,
How-
it's wonderful in Delta Green, but yeah, go ahead.
How bad does Wallace look? Because he was injured, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah, I.
Did we correct the injury status with you, Wallace? Because I know that you were originally taken down to 0 points, but we utilized a cinematic knockout and you had some hit points back.
I'm at 50% health, so
Okay, all right.
yeah. So it's the issue's been resolved, but yeah. So I was gonna ask a question, like, so my injuries, are they starting to fester? Because I don't know how much time has elapsed.
Right.
I don't know anything. So
Well, I'll have a look at him. I'll check it. I'll give him a once over. We're not in the most cleanest of environment, which is going to be an issue. But as long as we don't touch the ground, if we don't slide him along the ground, he should be all right.
James, what's your is it medicine or first aid or both? What's your score?
I got first aid. First aid is my better skill. I
Okay.
just need to
it's
find
gonna
it.
give me fucking gangrene.
Good.
I just want to know what the score is, just to see if you actually need to roll, just to give him the assessment.
Medicine. Where is first aid? Oh, first aid 63.
Okay, so yeah, no roll required in this, James. You can tell that his wounds are still relatively fresh, so to the best of your knowledge, not a lot of time has gone by. I mean, the blood has started to coagulate, but there's no scabbing. The bruises that he has on his body are still dark from the burst blood capillaries and vessels. So it's been no more than a few hours at the longest, maybe a half a day since that you could assess it since you've possibly been captured.
Can I attempt to treat it, or is it too late now to be do anything with?
First aid rules on that, I believe too much time has gone by for you to try to treat it.
Okay. What about medicine? My medicine's not as good though. That's my issue.
Let me just double check that for you, and I will let you know. But I think that means that you may need something with you. Let's see.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. And can be delivered anytime if it's not performed on the same day. Difficult to deliver increases, except in the case who must initially. Okay, so here's. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily say that medicine needs something. Obviously, if you have something, it will help supplement it. But I mean, if you want to make do with, the scraps of old beat up clothing in the corner.
Not really.
Yeah, so I mean, it would be at the roll would be at a deficit.
And I mean,
So I'm gonna say to Wallace, I'm gonna go. Look, man, it's been too long. We're in a filthy environment. Your wound is healing. It will start to heal already. It doesn't look infected, but I can't do anything here, man. It's too unhygienic.
Disgusting.
Or that, yes.
And I lift up my shirt and I look and I'm like, ooh. Yep, that's gonna
Well,
leave a
don't-
scar.
Well, don't poke it.
I'm not poking it.
Yeah,
Jesus.
but try not to throw up on it as well. That would help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
try not
Yeah,
to.
as I like wipe some of the sick like away from it off my shirt. Like...
And if you're missing any flesh, there's plenty spare to go around.
How we what are we gonna do? I will look at Wallace. You're a policeman. What do we do?
No, I just play one on Twitch.
What's Twitch?
I don't know. It's something in the future. No. Well, so we need to figure out how to get out of here, and I kind of struggle to like get up on my feet and like keep my bearings without like swaying and falling back over as these drugs wear off and the the pain surges. Is that a ramp I see, or is that steps?
Those would be steps.
Okay. I actually like go up the steps and I look out the door, presumably.
Okay.
Is there a way to look through the door?
So the door itself, as mentioned, is, like I said, it's a it's
Did I
a
miss
3 by 6 foot plate steel door.
Oh, okay.
So it's sturdy, and if you try to open, I assume you do. It's locked. It doesn't budge. But there is you can see a bit of sunlight coming through an inch slit underneath the door.
I drop onto my knees slowly and then like try to look under the door, and just to try to get a bearing and figure out what I see.
Okay. So let me pull that up for you. Here we are. Okay. So you can kind of see that it's, as your eyes, you lean over, you can see that it's just an dirt walkway, kind of path.
Okay.
That's kind of surrounds it. So this building is built upon the desert sands and rocky terrain, but you can see directly across from you, not completely, but you see a building that looks like it was built of adobe bricks, and there's a heavy layer of white plaster that's cracking in places. So something similar that you would see like at a mission, if you were traveling and visiting some of the missions, and as you kind of like you're scanning the area, the only thing you see is from your angle, is a single steel door directly across from you, that has a hasp and a padlock below it. So, and that padlock is currently locked. And you can hear the sound, the cranking, just the turning of something above it, but you can't make out what it is. Just give me let's see, what is your, what is it? What's your EDU?
65.
Okay. The sound that you're going to recognize is the sound of a turning windmill, just as it's turning in a slight breeze.
Okay. I kind of like roll off my knees and onto my butt and kind of drop and lean against the door. Wince in pain a little bit. Well, door's locked. What little bit I can see outside through this little gap here is apparently we're in obviously just a little building, but across the way, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 feet, maybe, give or take, there's an adobe building, covered in white plaster. I don't know if you guys would know what adobe is, being British.
Yeah. I know
Alright,
what
so-
Adobe is.
You use the token PDFs.
I mean, in the 70s.
You use it to open books.
You guys are killing me. It's another steel door, kind of like this one, and I take my elbow and go kind of just like bang, bang. Not overly loud, or overly hard. It's got a hasp lock and a padlock. And I think there might be a windmill on top. Something's slowly just turning. But I can't see it. Other than that, I can't see much. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this door's held fast.
So what you're saying is there's no way out unless we could possibly go through the grate.
Yeah, I don't fancy the grate, but if it's the only way, shall we see if we can get it up?
I mean, we could try. I don't know.
Well, I'm like, Wallace, you shouldn't I don't think you should. At least, I don't think you should attempt this because you might just start bleeding again. You might want to not do the old bending, lifting with your knees rather than your back type thing because you got to bend over and that may cause you more harm.
Right.
But yeah, we can have a look. Otherwise, whatever we got to get. I mean, how are we going to get out? No one knows we're here. Where's Reg? Where's Reg and Jack?
No damn idea. Last
They
thing
just-
I remember was getting the shit kicked out of me, and then I don't know. I remember being stabbed with something and feeling all funky. And next thing I know, I'm in here.
I hope they're okay.
God, I hope so. Hopefully they can find the police, get somebody out here to help us. Because I don't know. I mean, I don't know how we're gonna get out of here. And even though Wallace has had some training, I mean, he's like 20. I mean, his stress levels like going up.
Yeah. Also, they let anyone in, don't they? In the police academy. I've seen the films, but they're not out.
That's fair.
I'm going to go and have a look at this grating, see if I can see anything down there.
Okay. So it's very dark. So I mean, you can hear the dripping of the liquids as it's hitting something below. You can kind of hear it's hitting a liquid, a pool of God knows what. But you can't see much. The grating itself looks to be secure. It's built into the stone floor itself, but it is big enough that it's a 2-foot square drain. It is big enough that if you were able to open it, that you would easily fit down into it.
This doesn't look good either.
I mean, it's horrible, but dying's also horrible.
How hot is this box?
It's relatively cool for now, but it's muggy, it's humid, and so once again, it's safe to assume that since you're seeing daylight, it's the early morning hours, but it's going to get hot really quick, and with that, the intensity of the smells and other things inside of here.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of the cloth.
Okay.
I'm going to start ripping it in shreds if I can.
Okay. Go ahead and do two things. Give me a listen check.
Who?
And you, since you're heading over to the pile, and I also need a spot hidden check. Because it's a pile. It's not just.
Right, listen. I succeeded.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And hang on, I'm trying to find spot hidden now.
Okay.
You're going to
found-
need a bit of a bush to
Okay.
look behind.
Okay. So, as you approach the pile, James, and this, like I said, this is a large pile of just material, probably waist high. You get close to it, you hear a low moan, kind of a.
I'm like, there's someone under here.
Okay. And so, with that revelation, what does Mary, Wallace, and Timothy do now, since he's heard this sound?
What can we like? Help me clear the shit away.
Yeah, I'm going to go over and start pulling bits of cloth out of the way.
Okay. So you start pulling the material away from the pile, and as you start to clear away, you can see the form of what looks to be a man. He is, dressed in a suit, tie, slacks that are torn and ravaged. He seems to either be bleeding himself, as it's his clothing is covered in blood and muck and mire. And as you clear it farther away, you see his face, and his eyes are closed. He's moaning, and you see that coming out of his mouth are what looks to be shreds of paper. And he just muffled due to the papers that are just stuffed inside of his mouth.
Can I pull the papers
Mary?
out?
And Mary and Wallace, go ahead and give me a spot hidden roll too. If you Timothy, you pull the one of the pages out. It's completely saturated with blood and saliva. Whatever was, you can see writing on there. Some sort of, it must have been in pen, as the writing has just melted together. And it looks to be a small page, like something that would be from like a notebook or a journal. And you can see, if you look, you can also see farther back in his mouth, you can see more pages, coming out of his esophagus, like his entire.
Well, I'm gonna roll him in the recovery position, because first aid, because hopefully that might help him get it out, get rid of it. I suspect they've cut his tongue out. That's what I suspect, but
Okay.
I'm clearly looking at something else.
Okay.
I'm still leaning against the door, seated on my ass, so I don't see anything.
Right. No, and it's fine. No, I just wanted to see if you noticed something in here yet. But you're occupied with what Timothy is doing. He's pulled this man out, and Timothy, while you're doing that, as you clear it away, let's see here, what would work best for something like that.
I'm not putting my fucking fingers in his mouth because he might bite it off. I'm not stupid.
When you pulled that first large page out of his mouth, you do see that his tongue is still there. It hasn't been cut out, but it's like something or someone has just crammed his mouth full of papers. That it's just lodged in his esophagus. So you've rolled him over, and oh boy. Let's see here. Let's have just give me an intelligence check, Timothy, as you're the closest to him.
Did we lose a Timothy?
He did say he had food arriving about now.
Oh, okay. My bad. So, Mary,
And
give me an idea roll. So it's oh, you're back. Okay, so we'll go.
Sorry.
We can go with.
I'll have to. I'll sort it out in a second, but I thought I'll come back. Who's giving
All
an
right,
idea as well?
I was gonna have Mary do it since you had stepped away, but so either way, so Mary, or I need an intelligence check from you, James.
Barely succeeded.
Okay. Oh, I'm lagging here. Sorry. Okay, and Mary, go ahead too. Okay, no worries. So James, as you're clearing this away, you
Timothy.
pull the-
My name's Timothy.
Timmy. Little
Do
Timmy.
you want me to change my name on Discord on Roll20 on Zoom so you know that my name isn't James today?
I mean, I assume with all the crap you've given me over the past few months, you would have done that automatically. But apparently, do as you say, not as you do. But
hang on, let's see if anyone else has done it.
No, I haven't.
I have now.
I mean, it's on Roll20, so.
Yes, but sometimes if you've only got one screen or you're just looking at Zoom, you can't. You're not looking.
Yep. So as you lodge this paper out and you get a clear look at his face as you're starting to turn him over, something kind of clicks with you. You've seen this person before, and as you roll him over, it takes a moment or two as you kind of piece it together through the haze and the the drugs that are still clearing yourself from your body. You think back over the course of the day, yeah, you've seen this person before. This
Is it the doctor?
No, this in the suit, and just kind of it just occurs to you, wait, when you first came into town, when you pulled into the gas station, there were two men.
The agents.
Who were handing out, missing persons posters, and handed, you all one. This man is one of those. What
was the name?
That you had spoken.
What was the? Do I remember the names?
Probably not the name. He had introduced himself to you, so you recognize the face. But it's names are fleeting. It's there was two men. This is one gentleman was older, one was slightly younger. This is the older one.
Okay. Slightly older one, did you say?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Can I check him over then? And as I said, I've rolled him into the recovery position, so hopefully he doesn't continue choking on the papers that are shoved in his face. And then I'm also going to ask Mary to start. Mary, try and see if you can decipher what these notes say.
Okay. So, as you're searching him, so are you just going to go through his personal effects?
No, I'm checking his wounds. I'm checking his health, and
Okay.
and other things, like see what injuries he's got, see what see what's been done to him, basically.
Okay. So we'll get to that in a second. Mary, the papers that he handed you is indecipherable, right? But it is, it is. What's the size of your smaller books over there? Is it A4, A3? It's
Well, no, you got
an idea. This.
got notepads, which are like.
What's the
smaller.
journal? What's a journal size over there?
Probably A5.
A5. Okay, so just to give you an idea of the size of the paper. So the writing on here, the saliva and the blood has made whatever was on there indecipherable. And James, if you pull that bit of paper out of his throat, that's been kind of there's almost chewed up, so to speak. So Mary, what you see is just beyond recovering. But as you're checking him, James, his heartbeat is just faint. It's almost as if he's barely hanging on. And as you're checking his wounds, you open up his shirt. You can see a variety of bruises, stab wounds in his stomach, and and also there's a bullet wound on his side about where his kidney would be located. So he's severely wounded, and it's pretty much amazing that he's even alive still. But he's completely incoherent.
Okay.
He just kind of sits there moaning, And so do you, at this point, do you do anything else to assist him? And likewise, just want to get Wallace into this also. Wallace, do you do anything as...
So I'm gonna like kind of slide up the door and get back, slide off, because I had already stood up, back like off the door and come down the steps, kind of like trying to hold a clean piece of shirt over my my wound, to just because it makes me feel better, because it hurts like hell. And I'll walk over and look at the older man on the floor. Jesus. He is a wreck. He's worse than me.
I think we got off lightly.
What the hell is going on around here?
Why is his mouth stuffed with paper?
Probably because he's come to investigate, and they don't like the fact that he was asking questions, and that he's probably written stuff down. And this crazy fucking cult is into like eating people. Clearly, do you know what I mean?
Well, I hope they're not into eating people. I'm sure I don't taste really good.
Well, they probably haven't eaten him because he's old. If you remember, there was there's two missing agents. One of them was younger, so more succulent meat, I guess.
This is one of the agents.
Yeah, this is the agent from. This is one of the two agents that are missing. Do you remember when we pulled into the gas station? There was the two agents.
Yeah, I do. Oh,
the
Jesus
ones looking
Christ.
for missing people.
Yeah, so they're probably already eaten the other one. In fact, Reginald, when he had his burger, probably had a bit of him anyway.
I'm glad I went for the cheese.
I'm so glad.
Hold on.
I'm so glad that England's a...
Hold on, man. Let's. That's like far out there. Let's assume that they're not eating people quite yet.
Okay, all right, sure. Well, what are they doing then? Why are they capturing? Why are we Why did they want us?
I don't know, man.
Right? What did Sherlock Holmes say when he said, if you take away all possibilities and whatever, I don't know. What did he say? I can't remember what he said.
Bloody hell!
They
I
might
don't
just
know.
like murdering people.
You butchered that quote to death. Yeah.
Well,
Look,
it's an appropriate place for it to be butchered, though.
I'm a medical student. I'm not a fucking I don't read fantasy books.
I'm gonna go.
It's at this
Scott,
instance. Yes,
okay,
go ahead. No, go ahead. Tell me what you're gonna do, and then I'm gonna.
I mean, I've had some training, but I know Wallace's stress is amped up.
Right. Okay.
Between the drugs still running through my system and wearing off, the shock from the injuries. I'd like to know, do I kind of like stress break here, or like, do I like go run and start pounding on the door kind of thing?
Go ahead and give me a check, and then we will just go ahead and give me an insanity check. I mean, this would fall into that category. So,
all right. So I rolled a 34. I needed a 55. I rolled a 34.
okay. So I mean, to be honest, you're not gonna. I mean, you're by all means play it out as the stress is kicking in, but you're not losing your capacity to maintain yourself. So yeah. I mean,
yeah. You guys, you hear it in my voice, the stress, like the tone of my voice rises, just a little crackling, like the stress is getting to me, and I walk over to the door, up this couple of steps, and I grab what I think is the handle or the slide, and I grab it and shake it, trying to open the door.
Okay, so there's no handle on this side of the door, so it's just the reinforced metal door. So I mean, if you want to just start pounding on it, I'm
trying to push, slide, do something.
Okay.
Again, I mean, I know it's not going to move, but
right. Yeah, so you start, there's nothing to grasp onto, and if you start slamming up against the door, it's beyond your capacity. I mean, you can feel it rattle a little bit, but
Okay.
it's obvious the lock is secure. This is a thick door.
Yeah,
It's
I'm not
almost
going
like
to be able to slam into it too hard just because of the sheer pain.
And as you're doing this, the pounding just echoes inside of here. And James, as you're standing over this man, you see his eyes open suddenly, and
Well,
his body
he's
just
on the
lurches
side.
up.
He's on the
What's that?
side. He's in
He's
the
on the
recovery.
side.
Do you not know
Yeah.
the recovery position?
Yeah, no, but he his eyes open, and he suddenly sits upright, his eyes wide, and he looks at you, and he looks to his left, and he points to the wall right above the pile of trash and refuse and objects and articles, and he kind of looks and he points at the wall, and he looks at you, and then just collapses forward back to the ground. And as you look towards where he was pointing, it wasn't clear in the beginning because it kind of, had melded into the other bits of just miasma that just splattered against the wall. But you can see as you get closer to what he's looking at, it's a faint outline of letters and letters. And if you get close enough to it, you can kind of make out it's either written in blood or other, liquids within this room. And you make it out clear as you get closer and look, and the words say, "Knowledge is death." And if you check this man's pulse again, you find that his heart has stopped beating. And this might be a good time for us to take a break.
All right, we'll be back in a minute. Don't touch that dial.